Okay, let's get started.
Just raise your glasses high. This one's sweet.
Turtle time.
Well, Timothy Chalamet stepped in a big pile of shit this weekend. He insulted opera heads by saying that no one wants to hear their garbage anymore. Well, he just pissed off the wrong people because we at Turtle Time love opera. Isn't that right, Amy?
I think so.
And that's just a small taste of opera stuff. So Timothy Chalamet, take a hike.
Why did he say that?
He was being fun and sweet. He was just being normal. This has been nonstop for the past 8 days or since you've been gone. Since you left, it's been Timothy Chalamet opera gate since you left. The minute you left, he said something about opera, but it's not that bad, and everyone is faking that they're mad.
Yeah, seems like the wolves are out for his Oscar. They're just getting pissed at every single thing he says.
Yeah, so I was being facetious at the top of the hour. I love opera so much, too, but I'm one of those people, those awful people that don't put my money where my mouth is, and I don't go enough to ballet.
You can go to the Fathom events.
Oh, I want
your
to.
local theater.
I want to. I do. I would. I want to. I wish I did. He's right. He kind of, if anything, he's a patron of the arts because he made me be like, hey, put my money where my mouth is. I say I love opera, Carmen, Puccini,
all of the above.
Huge operas. I love Madame Butterfly.
Oh, wow. Huge.
I love all this stuff. And I sing opera in the shower and stuff. So he just kind of put his finger on a sensitive topic and it created a conversation. And now I'll be damned if not opera tickets are going to go kind of be
through the roof
next year.
It's going to become a thing where where I don't even remember what happened with Bud Light or something like that, where people take a stand, but now people are going to have to go to the opera in droves to piss him off.
Totally. They're going to be like, what the hell did I do? I'm just kidding. They're going to be like, oh my God, this is a sacred art form. I wish I was doing this more. But no, it's so funny. I mean, he's just, he's a lightning rod. Yeah, you're right. People don't want him to get this Marty Supreme acting. He's not getting, the chances of him getting are absolutely nil. He's not getting Best Actor.
Do you think when Kris Jenner saw that headline, she pulled the red phone out and she was like, Timmy, what have you done?
Oh, she said, you're going to need to hop out of that Marty Supreme balloon pretty soon and get the PR coverage. You need to go to Zendaya and Tom Holland's, go to Malibu with them on the beach and pick up trash or something like that. He's fucked. But he's completely fucked. But
you know what he needs? What would really have been great for him is going on Curb.
Oh my God. If Curb Your Enthusiasm still existed, that would be so funny. Oh my God. I'm trying to think of the storylines that Larry David, I mean, one can only imagine what Larry David would do if he got Timmy on his thing, but it would be like, he'd be like, remember, because he revitalized Michael Richards' career.
Right. And then also, what's her name? Aunt Becky got to have some fun after the scandal.
Lori Loughlin got to be like, oh, yes, he loves. That used to be a sort of safe place where you could kind of rehabilitate your character and your personality on Curb. I couldn't even imagine if Curb was still going what he would do with Timmy. I guess it'd be like, you could imagine Timothy Chalamet kind of, he ends up thinking that he's going to a movie, but Larry David, it's actually opera or whatever. And Timothy Chalamet screams, I actually do like this. And then it plays the Curb music at the end. Or you know what I mean? Something like that.
As simple as that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the end of it. But that's so true. We don't have Curb.
We need it back desperately.
The comeback might be a place now to
true.
You know what I mean? Maybe I could imagine her, Valerie Cherish, trying to do a similar thing with people.
They always have people I love. I remember on the OG seasons, Andy Cohen and RuPaul had a cameo. I saw in the preview for the new season, Trixie Mattel has a cameo. It's always all the people I like. Very excited for that. That's coming up like any day.
I know. And you and I mean, maybe we're not going to add anything onto our plate as for turtle time, but maybe we'll pop in and just say stuff like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's an AI. It's a send up of AI.
Always with their finger on the pulse.
Totally. Oh my God. AI is really wreaking havoc right now.
Yeah. We also didn't talk about, so you did survive the swamp.
Yeah, I got out. Yeah, look at me back in my beautiful seat in my house in Pasadena. Yeah, no, it was pretty dicey. There were some horrible snakes, big iguanas like that iguana on Southern Charm that you'll see later this week when we talk about it. It was rough getting out of there, but the plane was able to take off from. I don't know how they do it with the planes over there, but it was able to find some sort of steady ground to take off. And actually. You'll like this. Contrary to what you experienced with me in San Francisco when I was kissing my ass goodbye saying, I'm going to die on this plane. Barely more than 1 minute of turbulence on both flights to and from Florida.
That's
so it was
great.
really the best case scenario, but obviously Penny is kind of rough flying with her.
Sure.
I mean, she was her own emotional turbulence, but I didn't have to get scared for my life on the plane, which is great. Yeah.
That's good. I did watch both this week and last week. I watched Summer House on an airplane to get it done for the show. But the first time I was in first class and a little tipsy. The second time, simply Comfort Plus, or as Aeromexico calls it, AM Plus.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
Is that good?
It's as good as it gets because I was bulkhead comfort, which is like the first or the first row after first class.
I used to love being bulkhead. You can stretch out your legs, you get a little more room.
It's a good hack. So yeah, I'm sun soaked. My brain is a little zapped, but I think Summer House is going to bring me back to the U.S.
Oh yeah, yeah. You sun soaked. It's kind of sun soaked there too, so you can kind of get in the same mind set that you were in. I can't wait to talk about Summer House, but we unfortunately got to talk about this news that happened. Oh my God, the news that we left off on. We didn't talk about Carole Radziwill joining RHONY,
Right?
But I mean,
that happened like the second we stopped recording last week.
Yeah, so that's old. I mean, that is like old news. Like, oh my God, that is so old. But, all I can say is that I think that's good news for the show, at least. I mean, at least they have one cast member that could potentially be good and that people will be excited to see.
Yeah.
But there's some detractors of Carole now.
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
We don't have to get into it, but she's in every. It's so crazy. She's in every single Epstein email. She's in the signature basically of every single email that he sent. So if people are like, you want an Epstein head in there? But
right.
I was wondering, let's not talk about Epstein too much longer, even though I've said his name 7 times, but I wonder if any of them is going to have the gall or audacity to treat Carole like they treated, what was the Scientologist's name? Rebecca Minkoff.
Yeah.
Rebecca Minkoff. If Carole was ever fighting with anyone, they've got the ultimate thing to wield at any time they want.
That's true.
But I wonder if that's going to be in her contract. Like, you can't say that. Like, Carole doesn't want to ruin her life going back to RHONY. She wants this to be like a win.
It's strange because, I don't know. I see different areas of the internet. A lot of people bring it up constantly. Famously, Ghislaine took the author photo for What Remains. So that's always been like a weird thing. But now people are like really chomping at the bit. So a lot of people are obsessed with that and aren't going to let it go. Other people are just like, yay, she's back.
Yeah.
When that idea came through that she would be the link between the old and the new, I always thought it rang perfect. Like, I was like, that really makes sense. So when it went away, I was like, damn, that would have been smart. And so when it came back, I was like, good. Like, that really makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, it does to me too. And we'll see, how Carole handles this, is up in the air. She'll probably have to, I don't know, discuss it in some capacity. But still, overall, the boost of Carole in terms of entertainment and seeing what she's been up to, and having her on the show still does not outweigh for me what we're potentially getting in terms of the 3 cast members that I can't stand except
What we're up
Jessel.
against.
And then like the new cast members, I'm like, oh my God, no, I can't meet new people on RHONY again. What if you flopped again? Like,
I know.
and the fact that they didn't keep like Raquel, who was kind of good, you
Mhm.
know, like it's just like, oh, geez, RHONY is so fucked up right now. It's so fucked.
Yeah, I honestly need to deep dive into who these new chicks are,
Yeah.
or maybe I don't and just let them introduce them
Yeah.
to me. But yeah, it's a daunting idea, but we're gonna see.
Haley Glassman, Dana. I got all their names. They're gonna be good. Erica Hammond, Daisy Toy. Daisy Toy is associated with Martha Stewart's world. So remember that news where it was like Martha Stewart is circling like a vulture around RHONY, and she's like, "No, I'm not." But maybe they were like they got the news wrong, and it was actually Daisy Toy.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I know that Bethany was always obsessed with talking about how she was on Martha's Apprentice and how Martha didn't like her.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. And then wasn't she the first guest on Bethany? No.
Oh.
No, I don't think she was. I think that's just fan fiction I made up in my mind. And then Haley Glassman famously used to date John Gosselin.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. Have him on.
So this is good. And then we got The Golden Life, and that's still, they're going to be filming in Palm Beach pretty soon. Dorinda said they're in pre-production, so they're doing storyboards and wardrobe and they're doing fittings and everything, and they're going to be starting filming in spring for Golden Life. So we're going to have these two. They might be competing shows. What if you and I were like bouncing back and forth between these two shows?
Yeah, maybe the 2 shows combined will make one decent show, but
That would be really cool.
I still can't believe it has the words golden. It's
Right,
so
because-
rude.
Yeah, I know. We were so, yeah, you'd think we were so far past calling people golden when they get to a certain age. Golden Bachelor.
Yeah,
They just did that. That was
I
like,
know.
that was a year ago. Oh my
that's
God.
probably what gave him the idea.
I can't wait for my golden years though. I'm going to call them my golden years too. Like I think it's okay to refer to your own years as golden, but not make a show called that. That's kind of offensive. Oh, one last thing before we get out of the news, or we have a couple new news stories, but did you see when Scheana had Zach Wickham on her podcast and said, guess what? She goes, Zach, Lisa Vanderpump is all over the Rinna memoirs for perpetuating a bunch of storylines that Lisa Rinna kind of sussed out, like Munchausen gate and all that kind of stuff. And Scheana goes, well, don't get me started on Lisa fabricating stories. She did that all the time. And then she goes, guess what Lisa did? On season 11 of Vanderpump Rules in Tahoe, she called Lala and said, you better make out with Tom Sandoval or have sex with him on that trip to make something happen over there. And could you imagine Lisa on this phone call telling Lala? And Lala goes, I'd rather sleep with a dead dog. Or she said, I'd rather sleep with she goes, I'd rather sleep with Ken.
I'd rather sleep with the fishes.
I'd rather sleep with the fishes than have sex with Sandoval, or something like that.
I saw that. I feel like Lisa is really catching strays now that people aren't under her thumb.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think Teddy was talking all about the dog Lucy Juicy shit again recently, and everyone's just like, nah, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah. You know, you want to know the true story of all this stuff. I also don't want to talk about Lucy Goosey ever again, but I do, like, it is a story that, like, if I did have the 2 details, I never really was certain. It was like, that dog, Lucy Goosey, ended up in a kill shelter or something. Like, there's no way that happened. So, but I never questioned it because I didn't want my love of Lisa to die so deeply. But there is now enough stories, like you said. I mean, it's like, that's pretty bad, in my opinion, if Lisa was like, Lala, crawl into Tom Sandoval's bed while he's sleeping and try to initiate having sex with him.
She's like, the show's on its dying breath. Please, it's worth it.
Yeah. So Scheana, yeah, you're right. Sheena's out of Lisa's wing, and she's saying things now about what
Should
she
I
knew.
read Lisa Rinna's book?
I think you should if you're interested in it. I think I got all the big
morsels.
bombshells. I got the morsels. I ate all the morsels, and I don't really want to hear Lisa Rinna's side of anything.
Maybe I'll listen to it. I still need to listen to Carl's.
Yeah.
My book club next month, I believe, is a memoir theme, which I'm pretty much listening to a memoir at all times, so that
Yeah.
won't be a challenge for me. So maybe I'll do Lisa, Carl, Liza.
Oh yeah.
I already did Cher. There's always something fun coming around the pike.
Patricia from Southern Charm just wrote
Oh
a
yes, I
best-selling
have it.
memoir. You and I both have wonderful copies. I think we could crack the spine on that one pretty soon too.
Live, laugh, remarry.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Inscribed for Whitney. The whole thing is dedicated to Whitney, the entire memoir. I can't wait to
My
also
beautiful boy.
my beautiful, wonderful Whitney. This is for you. So those are, yes, good topics to talk about. Scheana and the Lala stuff. And can you believe what Lisa is doing? And then lastly, in the Vanderpump Rules world,
Yeah.
Jax and Brittany just came to one of the best custody deals that you could ever have in custody history when you're getting divorced. TMZ said this thing is basically wrapped with a bow on top. Let me pull this up to use their exact language. They said this thing is tied up neater than a bow on a Christmas present. It's one of the best custody deals they've ever seen in history. Did you see some of the? I can't get TMZ to load. They said that Jax and Brittany have now joint custody of Cruz. Jax only gets him though on Wednesdays and every other weekend, but that's okay. That's okay. If you're a dad, I mean, that's not ideal for me, but if you're Jax, I think that's decent for what could have happened. And Brittany gets him every other day. They can't ever initiate meeting significant others for a period of time until it's like approved. So Jax can't bring in that one person from Hooters that he dated and be like, Cruz, this is my new girlfriend. and then they can't ever be on drugs or weed or cocaine ever while they're watching Cruz. And they only have to pay for Cruz when he's in their care. They don't have to pay any, what's it called? Custody money back and forth. No one has to pay anybody anything. No child support. They just have to pay for Cruz when he's in their care.
So Brittany has to pay way more because she has him way more.
Brittany will be paying a lot more, and we still don't know how the house is shaking out. I go, Megan, did you hear that Jax and Brittany got the best custody deal of all time? She goes, what about that house that she's paying double mortgage on from Jax's shitty finances? And I was like, that's not covered in this. This is just about Cruz. But
yeah, they have a long road ahead. But I guess this is a good first step. I have a feeling if we know anything about his past, he will immediately break one of the rules, and it will all be set rolling back. But
Jackson rules. Like
on the trip I was on, I was talking to someone who doesn't know the show that well, and I was like, yeah, like he owed like millions of dollars in taxes. Their mortgage was like $17,000 a month. I had like all these details, and they were like, that was on the show? Like, how do you know all of this? And I was like, yeah, it was on the show.
Yeah. Oh my God. You learn everything. We learned everything. Oh my God. Remember, she was accusing him of doing cocaine on the show at the very end.
Yeah.
It was getting so crazy that last season of The Valley.
Did you see Tom Sandoval on Watch What Happens? Andy asked if he has paid his mom back, and he was like, it wasn't a loan, it was an investment.
Yeah, it was oh my God, it was kind of rough. Tom Sandoval and Andy. Andy was like, it was like awkward and uncomfortable. Andy didn't know how to deal with them. And then even when Sandoval had that moment of trying to be like rally around Katie for Chris, he was like, we stand up for our cast members, the OGs, celebrate their legacy. And I was like, oh, normally 10 out of 10 times everyone would love that. But then Andy was like, oh, he already apologized. And Chris was like, yeah, dude, where the hell have you been? I apologized to Katie like 100 times. And then even Katie commented and said, this is over, Sandoval. Get over it. He apologized to me 100 times. Yes, he blew it. It was kind of sad. It was, didn't you think?
He was also like, I met Kristen's baby at BravoCon, and then it turned out it was just they ran into them in the lobby when they were checking in. And he was like, yeah, it was weird because we were nice to her, but then everything she said about me since was horrible.
Yeah, she's like, she said how shitty he was, how horrible Victoria was. He's still a pariah. Now he's a permanent villain fixture on House of Villains. It's like,
Right.
so I don't know. That was unfortunate. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Vanderpump Rules and Jax and Brittany.
I'll just let you know, we do have one friend who really likes House of Villains. So if we ever need commentary or to know what the hell is going on over there, we have a source.
That would be great. I would love a little check-ins. I love Kate Chastain, and she's on Villains.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something about E really rubs me the wrong. It reminds me of like watching shitty VH1 shows like when I was younger, and I was like, this sucks.
Rock of Love.
Oh, I was like, I was 14, and I was like, this
is for
sucks.
girls.
That wasn't what I was thinking. I was just like, this television sucks. I was like, I want to watch The Simpsons
low quality.
and Friends. I was like, there's something wrong with this. Remember that Brett Michaels show? Or no. Not Brett Michaels. There was this one show I was watching. No. One show I was watching, I swear. I was 13 years old. And I was like, Simpsons is over. I want to watch more television. And there was like this guy. It was like this weird guy who, he's probably dead now. No offense. And unfortunately he is. But he like ran to go commit suicide in the bathroom while they were filming him. And I was like, oh my God, this is
real life.
Oh, has it happened more than once? I don't even want to look into it because now I will not have no excuse for not knowing the truth, but it was like this one former child star who was like being filmed, and he was so fucked up. And then in the season finale, he like runs in the bathroom and starts to kill himself. I was like, I swear it's horrible. Like they didn't know what reality television was back then. And I feel like House of Villains still has that glimmer of anarchy that I can't deal with. There's something so safe and wonderful about the Bravo aesthetic.
Yeah.
You don't know this show that I'm talking about?
I'm going to need more information. When you said someone ran off, it made me think of how, that show Flip or Flop that has now Tarek Al Moussa, he got divorced from his wife who was on Flip or Flop with him. And then he married someone from Selling Sunset. And then I think the three of them, like his ex and his wife, have a show together. But at one point, I think when he was just before he divorced Christina, Tarek ran into the woods with a gun.
No.
It's not funny. But it's just compared to the show, like how like polished and like fake the show is. And they're just like, I want the white marble in the kitchen, honey. Yeah. And he's like, happy wife, happy life. And then when you read the like actual story, it's like he had a mental breakdown and ran into the woods.
Yeah,
it's not funny.
No, it's not funny. It's just sometimes it's a little too real and dark for me, some of this shit. And so that's what I don't know why. Kind of reminds me of that. And I don't know. I just can't even watch House of Villains. It was on the airport or I was just like, oh God, it's like, oh, Joel McHale. I'm like, oh, it's like, oh, I can't even watch him for 1 second.
He was in the new Scream movie.
Oh my God. I can't even think about Joel McHale. Okay. All right. Well, let's get the hell out of news.
Let's get off the pot.
Let's get off the pot. Let's talk about Summer House. Then for people who have been waiting with bated breath for Potomac and Vanderpump Rules coverage, don't worry. That's definitely coming at the end of the episode. But we got to talk about what pays the bills, which is Summer House. And so let's talk about this wonderful episode called The Joke's on You, which you immediately know that it was called that because Bailey makes one of the ultimate groaners at a dinner table jokes in history. Really causes 2 minutes of pure awkward silence. And so it's called that. The Joke's on You because of Bailey's sort of unfortunately timed joke that sent Ben fuming. He was so pissed at this joke. And so
yeah. No, it's interesting because last week we were just rallying around Bailey and what a delight she was, how fun she was, and how weird she was. And I feel like this, even though I'll just say up front that I think he overreacted and it was a little strange, that she played her cards wrong and her weirdness was a snafu in this case.
Yeah, I'm so divided on it. Like I really see both sides of this issue, but I come down more to that more to the side that you just said before, which is that I didn't like how Ben handled it. It was too gruff, too mean, not fun, kind of weird. I understood why Bailey was like, damn, like, what the hell? Like, that sucked. Too real. Like, I'm sorry. It was just a joke. And I have so much sympathy for Bailey because you know who's told a couple groaners in his day at a big dinner table? Yours truly. And she just unfortunately had it filmed and everybody was wearing tuxedos and it was the one joke you shouldn't say to the one person that hated it the most. Like everything about the environment made that thing die on the vine. So I felt sympathy for Bailey mostly the entire time, even though you can understand why Ben was a little perturbed. Just not to that extent. But what I loved about this episode of Summer House is that we're already ripping and rolling, having fun. Sierra stuff, West stuff, Jesse stuff. Great. But then a real thing arises in the moment at a dinner table that they have to deal with for 30 minutes of the episode. I love that. It was like a total surprise. It's not a storyline. It just pops up and it's almost the entire episode and it deals with Bailey and Ben, who Bailey like is attracted to Ben. So it makes it even weirder and more uncomfortable. It was just like a shock to me. And then the rest of the episode was so great too. Yeah. So it was just, I thought this was an amazing episode again on a run of amazing episodes.
Always surprising us at every turn. But yeah, so it picks up exactly where we left off, where Jesse and Sierra are talking. It's the end of the conversation. He's just saying, obviously, we needed to talk about this regardless of West. Something weird or something was coming to a head between us that we needed to acknowledge. And it, like we said before, it's fine. He seems disheartened. I think he says he's disappointed in how he misread the situation. But ultimately, they hug it out. They say, I love you. It's fine. Later in the episode, it sounds like his conclusion is that they agreed to stop flirting.
Yeah. Which I was like, when did you say that?
Right.
Like, that was, we talked about the conversation. I don't remember those words being expressed, but I guess it was implied. Like, we're not taking this to the next level. When they hug or whatever, Jesse goes, there's so many jokes I could tell right now, but I won't. And I was like, what joke could you tell? Like, I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. There wasn't any setup for any jokes. Like,
Right.
why don't you lay some on us? But instead, he goes to West. West and Jesse are like, their relationship is like repaired instantly for the rest of the episode. He's like, did it go bad? He's like, no, it was actually fine. It was best case scenario for after what happened with Sierra. And I think he says that he goes, I should have known better than to think that Sierra was up for anything casual. So that was a misread on my part. And it kind of made me realize that I think at that moment, Jesse would have said he wanted something more serious if he did. So this has to be taken like he did want just casual make out with Sierra because they were flirting, which is more to your side of things, what you interpreted as. Because he would have said, I actually wanted this to be more serious. But instead he was like, oh no, I should have known Sierra's not one to just make out with me casually. And he never says again that he wanted anything more serious with Sierra.
Yeah, I'm curious how this will now, because we'll get into towards the end of the episode, West getting into his feelings towards her and their history. And I wonder if next week, if Jesse will get into then his jealousy of theirs. Like it keeps going back and forth. It's like a pendulum. So it's kind of just fun to watch week to week. We also get a little quick fleeting thing is that they talk about how KJ and Dara?
We settled on Dara. Let's just
Dara. KJ and Dara are like, we'll get into it later, kind of low-key together, dating, having sex, whatever. And Bailey's like, perfect. That means Ben is free. He can be mine, all mine. And you're like, girl, if that's what you're thinking, then why did you do this at dinner? Which is the next thing that happens. Right.
Yeah. Well, it's interpreted as flirting, like kind of odd flirting, bad flirting. But yeah, you're right. No, it's ruined. But also I'm kind of, this Bailey and Ben thing, I'm like, it's been 3 weeks or something. This is like the third week, and I don't know. It doesn't seem to me very clear that like there's any moves being made. Like if Ben is attracted to Bailey, like I don't. This seems kind of one-sided, at least.
Yeah.
I don't. So, but
yeah, it's becoming a little sad because, especially after their feud, which I think they just have a feud now. Everyone's like, not just him. Everyone's like, yeah, like I think she's obsessed with him. It's getting kind of weird. Like she keeps saying stuff, which to me is like absolute worst case scenario. Like I would jump into the sea. I'd be like, never mind, never mind.
Yeah, no, no, they really nip it in the bud this week. But no, I don't even think I like. Yeah, they interpret it as that, but I think it's like fun or whatever that Bailey keeps talking about how attracted she is to Ben, but it's kind of just like there's been no movement and it's been a long time. And then this, oh my God, now it is over. Yeah. Oh my God, Ben and Bailey, R.I.P. That thing is dead in a ditch. But then did you like when they were all getting in their tuxedos and stuff? I was kind of like, what the hell are they doing? It's like they went from, was this Renaissance Fair? They went from cleaning up. Oh, no. Sorry. Turkey legs were in the morning. So they went from Renaissance Fair the other day. Now they're in tuxedos and wonderful attire for Amanda's birthday. They all looked great.
Yeah, very Bond-esque. I was a little disappointed that they ate in the indoor dining. I was like, they couldn't have set up a beautiful outdoor table or something. It feels very casual when they eat inside.
You're right. Maybe they blew it on their one outdoor dining on that one where Kyle left the table and pissed off. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or
like,
it was raining still from when Sierra ate shit last week.
Yeah. Oh, right. Wet. It could have been wet as hell. Did you get a glimpse of any of this food? They got catered food, which I thought was a splurge.
Yes. It looked like that thing that everyone online is always like, it's like, I want a martini, fries, and a Caesar salad. Like it's a thing. So it looked like it was like classy junk food, sort of. Like there was like nuggets and mac and cheese and martinis. And I mean, it looked good to me.
Looked really good to me. Kyle congratulated them at the end. He goes, that was perfect upscale food that has fries and martinis. They're sitting down. They all look wonderful. Can't express that enough. And then Bailey goes, I miss Carl. Does anybody else miss him? And they go, we all miss Carl. You kind of wonder what this weekend would have been like if Carl had been there. Would he have diffused the Bailey joke? He could have.
Yeah.
Very easily.
She brings up Carl. Then everyone says they miss Carl. Then Ben is like, I just visited him at Soft Bar. And I was like, okay, Ben, beginning this conversation, he goes, he brought up his investors. And he's like, Kyle, you're not an investor. And Kyle's like, I'm on the advisory board, which like whatever the fuck that means. And he goes, yeah, I couldn't invest. I just put $500,000 to meet payroll. I couldn't do it. And Jesse's like, but he invested in Loverboy, right? And I was like, oh shit, it's a takedown.
Oh my God. Yeah. Kyle was cornered. He didn't know. He was fighting for his life at that table.
Yeah. He's like, no, like I don't have the cash. I can't do it. And then Amanda goes, you didn't invest in Soft Bar at all, which obviously she already knows, but like wanted it on camera. I was like, et tu, Brute? Like everyone was like stabbing him.
He goes, I'm on the ropes. He goes, let me up. I can't stand it. He goes, I'm blindsided as hell over here. I thought how Ben led into it was a little clumsy. Mm-hmm. It was a little too ham-handed for me on Summer House. He was like, it really felt like he had it. And I was like, how does Jesse know? Like, I don't like in the edit when Jesse knows something that we don't know as the audience. Mm-hmm. He was like, yeah, Carl's really pissed. It's like Carl's been talking about this to anyone who will listen for days and weeks instead of what we just saw.
Don't you think the producers put Ben up to it so he'll have something to talk about? Because remember, we were like, why is Ben going to Soft Bar? Yeah. And then the very next episode, he's like, I hear you didn't invest. And then Kyle flops instead of being like, I really want to help him, but like, money is a real problem right now, which he does say. But then he goes, I shared his crowdfunding campaign. I'm like, you mean on like Instagram stories? Like, you can't bring that up. Anyone would do that.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna go to the bat for Kyle. I was gonna be like, he's worth his weight in gold as the advisor board member. Like, think about the advice he's given on Zoom calls, and then how many followers does Kyle have? I would have if Kyle, he's 580, 500,000. If he posted that, come on, what percentage of people are gonna see it? A lot. I mean, in
Okay.
crowdfund.
But then he was getting like bitchy about it, where he's like, well, if he wants me to cut him a check for $15K, like, fine, who cares? And not to spoil it, but like, he immediately within 5 minutes of this conversation gives Amanda what I assume is about a $10,000 watch.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you got some cash.
But I think that when he was saying, oh, if Carl wants me to cut a check for 15 grand, I'll do it right now. Like, that is showing to him that this is more symbolic of something and not actually representative of him not giving money. And that's what Jesse tries to say too. It's more about the sweetheart deed that you do in terms of a pledge of loyalty. That's why I'm like, I think that this kind of whole thing is more storyline to me than it seems true. Because I do think that Kyle obviously easily could give him 15K, and that's why he says it. But
so then he should, even if it was just like as a show of like, back when I needed it, you did it for me, like, I'll do it for you. I don't know. I mean, it's like kind of an awkward thing, but Kyle gets into how when we get around, remember there's a whole gift clip montage. So he maybe just really, that's not his language.
Yeah, or Amanda says he's really frugal. So she says he doesn't even buy new underwear. Like, he hasn't had underwear in like years or something. So I don't know. I was just like, this seemed like round one of what they want. This seemed like what they thought the dinner could be. I just didn't. It was just so inorganic to me, and Ben bringing it up, I was like, what the hell? So that's why I was so happy for the reprieve. So after that, Kyle goes, Loverboy's in dire financial straits. He goes, I'm trying not to lay off people. We need to start buying Loverboy stuff, you and I.
Apparently.
No, I mean, like, seriously, like, it's time for us to put our money where our mouth is and support Loverboy. But then he goes, everybody say something nice about Amanda. And I mean, Amanda is one of the most celebrated people in the world, and everyone loves Amanda, and you can tell as they're going down at the table. Even Mia is saying wonderful things. Like, everyone loves Amanda. She's a shining star. And then they all say wonderful things. And West goes, Ben, there's a lot of pressure on you now to say your thing. And then Ben says something like, big eyes and big smile. He goes,
I'm a big eyes and smile guy.
You're Australian. I gotta say, you did it earlier. Your Australian is so good. I watch Bluey every day of my life, and I want to do an Australian accent, and I don't even know.
Australian.
Oh, I thought what you doing? Oh yeah, Bluey is, but I'm like, I can't do it for fucking shit. I mean, I can't do any impression, but like your Australian was really good. I can't believe it. But he goes, yeah, big eyes, big smile, that's what I love. And then Bailey, oh my God, Bailey, she delivers a joke. At the table, she says, Ben is going to talk about how he definitely wants to sleep with you. And instead of uproarious laughter and slapping hands on the table and nudging people with elbows and really laughing, it's like the ultimate record scratch moment. You see everyone's reaction.
Everyone's like, huh? Wes goes, what the helly?
Yeah, and what was almost more interesting to me is that no one could get back in gear for a while because they saw Ben, and Ben is bashful and blushing, and he's like, what the hell is happening? He's like struck by it. He's like, what the fuck is going on? And then everyone, and then basically people have to motivate Ben to keep talking again because they can't get back anymore.
Yeah. He's like I was saying, she can light the room up with her smile. And Kyle's like, welcome to the club. This group is tough. I'm telling you, like, people are going to come for you. Like, and he's like, Jesus Christ, that was crazy. But No, it was a fail for her. I think he could have just realized that everyone thought it was weird and been like, that's an L for her, not me. Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, but I am such a pity laugher. Like, oh my God, you caught me at that table. I'm laughing for Bailey. I'm giving her a high five. Like, I would never, ever in a million years let someone blow a joke like that. Like, deliver a dud like that. Like that.
Well, it was because it was like, I know she thought it was hilarious, but it's one of those weird things where you're actually just like,
Yeah.
like being a hater and like disguising it as a joke.
Yeah, it was using intimate information or an inside joke, which Ben accuses her of later. And it's just not appropriate. The timing was very bad. It was just not appropriate with Kyle there in a tuxedo.
Amanda didn't love it either.
No, Amanda didn't like it either. And then Ben's reaction made everyone even more awkward because he couldn't laugh it off. If you're the recipient of a dud joke, you need to be the one who goes, well, you really blew it with that joke. I'm going to keep talking. But he was steaming. He was like, I felt like he was going to say, like, stop rolling the cameras. I need to leave now. This is so bad for me.
Bravo, fucking bravo.
I think he was going to pull a bravo, fucking bravo on them all. He was like, am I in a prank show right now?
Cut the cameras, dead ass.
Yeah, but no, Sierra's like having to be like, it's okay, Ben. It's okay. It's just a joke.
He's like snarling.
He's pissed. Oh my God. It's going. And then Kyle goes, I'll get you out of this one. Bailey also tries to recover a couple times. She says some jokes, but no one wants to hear from her anymore. She's like, she says a couple things, but it's just like, oh my, could you imagine? Could you imagine just having to sit in that joke that you told for that long? And then Kyle goes, guess what? I got a gift for Amanda. And then I loved this moment. I mean, I don't know anything.
Win for once.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this watch or what Chanel what was it? Cartier. I don't know anything about it, but he brings that bag over, and people are like, "No, it can't be Cartier. Is it the red box?" And they go, "Holy shit!" And Amanda actually gives the wonderful response that any gift giver wants. She goes, "Okay, this is actually very pretty. I love this." Gives him a kiss. And then the table erupts with cheering.
They're like,
woo, 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 Kyle, because he finally gave a wonderful gift. And then they show, like you said, that montage of all the times he's blown it completely. That art piece that he got her.
I forgot about that.
Me too. I can't wait to recap Summer House again someday.
Yeah.
She was like, huh? What the hell's that art piece? And not giving her a gift.
Yeah, Paige has to pull up on her phone like a weekend getaway and just like, get your credit card. We're going to buy her something right now, you fool. But yeah, going with expensive fine jewelry, never a bad idea. Apparently she told him at one time, maybe she was flipping through a magazine and was like, this is what I like. And apparently he listened. She was so pleased that she even called her mom. And she was like, remember I told you that I told him that I wanted this watch? And he actually did it. She couldn't believe it because, yeah, I don't know the actual price, but my guess is like somewhere near $10,000. Like that's like what, and it looked like it had the gold face, but it looked like it had a black band. So it wasn't like the band wasn't gold, which would then get you into like the crazy numbers.
Oh.
But I mean, it's a beautiful watch. It was a nice, perfect gift.
I don't know anything. We've talked about watches all the time, but I don't know anything about them, but Amanda's look was priceless because she loves it. And calling the mom after, you did a good gift.
Yeah.
Mom. And then the mom says that was a big gift from Mr. Kyle Cook. He did a great job. The mom loves it.
Yeah.
So he killed it. And I'll say now, Amanda and Kyle, we stopped talking about it. We gave them shit when they were doing bad. And then we don't give them credit when they're doing good. The last 2 episodes, they've kind of been. I said that they were being cute last week when she was like laying on it in his lap, and they're cute again this week. I know, obviously underlying turmoil, but still, let's just celebrate the fact that they think that they're in a good place. This gift went over really well,
yes.
And Amanda loves Kyle right now, and Kyle loves Amanda.
Yes. So then we get into the fallout of Ben and Bailey. All the boys are like, bro, that was fucking crazy. Like on her birthday in front of her husband. And then on the other side, Amanda is saying how she thinks Bailey's in love with Ben. Even Levi is like, I love Bailey, but her flirting is flop Tina. I tell her every day it's like a real problem. And then they're saying how she's done this before, and they show us a clip last week where she's like, you're always flirting with Amanda, and they're all like, what the hell?
Yeah, it did make a worse case for Bailey when they show the clip at the Ren Fair where she was said the exact same joke, and it's like, and it didn't go over well very much then in front of Kyle. Kyle doesn't care though. She said it twice in front of him, and he it rolls off his back. He doesn't mind it, but Ben doesn't want to be implicated like he wants to sleep with someone. It's not Bailey's joke to tell, I guess is how you'd say it. Even though I do believe Bailey when she says that if West or someone else, Jesse, would have said it, people would have been flipping the table over in laughter at how funny it was. And something about her delivery and the fact that she likes Ben. Right. And she in her flirting is to say, you like someone else. Right.
Yeah. No, you see, so that when all the guys are together and Ben's getting all riled up talking about it, he's like, you can't be saying that I want to fuck my mate's missus, and they all die because they're like, I cannot believe that's how you talk. And then Wes does an impression of it to Kyle that he said, you can't say I want to fuck my mate's missus, and Kyle's like, ha ha ha.
Kyle loves it. Oh my God, Wes does the accent perfectly, and Kyle's laughing. He thinks it's funny. He's in on the joke too that Bailey told a groaner. And then Ben's like looking at the cardboard cutout of Bailey, and he's like, fuck. He's like, that sucked.
He starts like groaning. He's like, oh, I gotta go talk to her about this.
He's like in front of the missus, my best mate's missus. He goes, I'm gonna talk to her right now. Maybe
he's like, crikey.
He's like, oh my God. He goes, crikey. He goes, shit. He goes, I'm gonna get up there right now. He's like the Terminator. He's just like, he goes up. He goes, Bailey. She goes, what? Go ahead. What? He goes, well, all that stuff about what you said about what did he say? He goes, basically they talk right into it. You know, why are you making those jokes about me wanting to, he says, fuck. Why are you making these jokes about me wanting to fuck my best friend's missus? And Bailey goes, I didn't say the F word. I said sleep. It's because I thought that was an inside joke that everyone talks about, and I'm sorry if that wasn't my joke to tell, which is kind of the perfect response to say that Ben's not letting her off the hook lightly for a very long time. He's pissed in that room.
He's like, it was rude. She was like, I was totally teasing. You know, you guys always joke about that skinny dipping story. And she says that he said, if I could, I would. And he goes, I never said if I could, I would.
I don't think Bailey has the right info there. I think Ben is rightfully pushing back on that second part of it. That he's telling everyone, I wish I could have sex with Amanda. There's no evidence of that. There's no edit. And even I will say in Ben's defense, although I will not defend him for much longer, when Bailey says there's clips of I see this joke. There's a lot of it going around. And it was like, Ben gave Amanda coffee once. Ben put a towel on Amanda. Ben lifted her up out of that kissing booth or whatever. I was like, that's not that crazy evidence. Besides the skinny dip story, you didn't really have much more than that, Bailey, to point to, that there's this secret chemistry between them. Or they would have showed it. They would have shown that in the edit.
She just keeps bringing up, like, you guys joke about it constantly. And he's just like, well, anyways, it's not funny. You're not joking. It's kind of weird. It has nothing to do with you. Like, he's not lighthearted in the slightest.
There's not even a little bit of levity. And he goes, I'm stepping over your stuff right now. She goes, wait, can we talk more about it? I'm sorry. I took an inside joke that wasn't mine. I mean, really all of the right apologies. And he goes, but what more is it? What deeper is there? And I was like, did you want her to say, I like you? And that was me flirting? No one's ever going to say that. Like, no one would ever admit that they keep teasing you because they secretly like you, and she doesn't like you now anymore. It's like that.
Right.
That was fully lost. And he goes, "I'm stepping over your stuff right now to get to get out of here." And I was like, "Stepping over your stuff?" Like Bailey was right that the minute she was starting to respond because he was getting heated and wouldn't let her off the hook, he wants to leave because he said his piece. And then he does get out in a huff.
Yeah, he's pissed. He storms out. She goes and cries in her bathroom. She was getting ready to go out when he came in. And then when she comes out of the bathroom, she's in sweats. She's not going out anymore. Also, Mia was lurking in the hall and goes and tells Sierra and KJ about what she overheard. And then, but yeah, the whole house is just talking about this basically. Like Jesse and Amanda are talking about it, saying how it is weird that Bailey keeps bringing this shit up. I like this trio, Mia, Sierra, and KJ. They were just like gossiping and having a ball on the couch. I liked that little corner.
Sierra likes that Ben did that. She goes, "Don't ever treat me like that. Don't ever walk out in an argument with me." But she likes that he might need anger management, and then he gets pissed. But yeah, I mean, I guess we remarked on it enough. But there was something very off-putting about how Ben was in that moment, staring at Bailey with what she'll call dead eyes later, like just.
Well, we don't have enough goodwill towards him to accept a blowout like this already. Because I'm like, all right, like this is the first I'm seeing of you, and it's bad vibes, so that's going on your docket. Like I'm warned.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, Turtle Time just is, we write character assessments, and that you just dropped like 2 points. You were a 7, and now you're a 5. I don't know what the hell you're doing over there. And also it makes it sadder that Bailey likes Ben. So to see her have to be the recipient of this guy that she thought was cool and she's longed for, ripping her a new one. Like, I don't want to see that. Oh my God, how horrible. And then to ruin her night.
Yeah.
To ruin her night. She wanted to go out. She's on a show. She wants to party.
She was putting like makeup on her legs, the whole 9.
And I would have been sequestered to my bedroom as well. I would have said, I can't go out. I'm too uncomfortable. So he ruined Bailey's night. And when he heard that she was sad as they go on throughout the night, he's like, "She's sad. I didn't want to make her sad," or whatever. It's like, she's sad.
Yeah.
And why didn't
West would never do something like that.
Well, Wes would never have approached it with the lack of humor.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Come on, dog. What was that about?"
Totally. Even when he was the maddest I've ever seen him, which was with Jesse, he still couched it in a little bit of humor and had that passive-aggressive tone. He didn't go full bore. Yeah. Then you went too far chastising Bailey. I don't want to see someone chastised like that, ever. It was not fun. I mean, and Ben is not, I don't know if Ben has that spark of fun. No offense.
Yeah. I know. So more to come on that. It also ruins Levi's night because she's a good friend and stays with Bailey.
Nice of Levi. You got it. Levi hasn't said one word. She said 6 words.
Yeah.
And she could have had a night out making friends and being fun and partying, but she chose as a good friend to stay with Bailey. I thought that was very sweet. She
took the hit. But yeah, everyone else goes out. They stay out really late. There's the fun montage of them in the club. Sierra's flipping off the camera. They're getting down and dirty. They don't come home till 3. And this is where we get something that I think is now canon, that West is sitting on Sierra on the ground. And Sierra reveals, she goes, "Here's the thing about West, if you know him. If he sits on you, he has a crush." And she says, "It's so West coded." And that's something that he did early on, which is where she started to see that he was interested. It's his like bird dance.
Totally. I didn't remember 2 summers ago. Did you remember West sitting on Sierra? Okay, I didn't remember it either.
They had pictures.
Yeah, they have proof of it. Yeah, maybe they didn't show it in the edit, but I did not know this was a characteristic of West, sitting full weight. But Sierra loves it. And she goes, "So I know West is falling in love with me again," but she goes, "But why now? Why is this happening now?" But it's a true sign to her that West is developing feelings again by sitting on her.
Do you remember that Tim and Eric music video with that Tim and Eric talent? I think his name was Palmer Scott or something like that. And he goes, this is what I do. I sit on you, sit on you, sit on you.
No, I kept thinking of petite feet as you were gearing up for that. I don't remember sit on you. I need to go back.
I'll send it to you.
I need to go back. I need to watch all of it again. Please send it to me. Well, I'll watch it right now.
I'm going to make a meme that's like West Wilson be like, and it'll be like, this is what I do. I sit on you.
Oh, excuse me.
Sit on you.
I haven't seen Tim and Eric clips, Awesome Show clips in the wild in a long time. That would be, you need to bring it back. People would be like, whoa, what the hell is this?
I'll bring it back single-handedly.
And this sitting, Jesse even has to acknowledge, he goes, West is sitting again on Sierra, just like he did 2 summers ago. He's
sitting.
He's sitting all over the place.
And he goes, West and Sierra are getting flirty. And he goes, I'm happy for them. Jealous? Not this guy. And I'm like, yes, I can't wait for this to go forward.
I thought that was cute of Jesse. I was like, everybody's been the spurned other side of a equation like this, left in the dust by 2 wonderful people. And he's taking it in stride. He's still being funny. And I think now that the creepy factor that a lot of people were worried about, now that that's like off the table, I just kind of was able to, I never left Jesse's side. I think that he's still a fun, sweet guy. I never thought of him differently, but hopefully people can be back on his side now that the kind of weird stuff with Sierra is away. But you're right though, could possibly lead to him being like, whoa, West and Sierra are fully back on. Do you think this is devil's advocate? I don't think this, but is there any part of when Sierra goes, why now? Why did West take a big sit on me right now? Is there any part of you, we know West has always loved Sierra, but is there any part of you or anyone in the world that would say like, oh, was it that when Jesse said, I want to kiss, I got to kiss, it re-sparked West to be like, oh my God, like I love Sierra. I was actually hurt by that. And so now I want to go.
I don't think that's devil's advocate. It's like sometimes you don't realize what has been dormant until, it could be taken away or something like that.
Totally. And I didn't mean devil's advocate. I just meant like sometimes the devil's on my shoulder, but no, people could say that.
But there's throughout for the full rest of the episode, there's all this West stuff, which I think continues into next week. At one point, which we know is after 3 a.m., it's like very late. It cuts to Kyle and Amanda's bedroom, and Sierra and West are in the bed. But then she goes because she wants to make this buffalo chicken dip, and Kyle is in the bed. He's like schwasty, and he's like, West, that was awesome. Like, you guys are vibing.
Yeah, everyone is taken aback. Like, West's head was on Sierra's shoulder at one point. Like, they're just fun. And then at one point, when West and Sierra in bed already, even for 10 seconds, is one of the biggest deals in the world. From where we were last summer to now, I almost didn't think it was real. I like had to watch again. I was like,
AI?
West, I go, are they implementing AI all of a sudden? And then she goes out and leaves West and Kyle, and then Sierra goes back up to tell West and Kyle that there's buffalo dip available. I was like, Sierra went back up to talk more to West. This is great signs. I mean, they're flirting, they're having fun. They call it what happens at night, whatever gets you through the night. Like, they kind of chalk it up to drunken feelings or whatever, but it just doesn't stop. They even go and have a conversation around the buffalo dip where Wes says, I want to talk to you more. I don't know how to talk to you, to be honest. And Sierra goes, I have designed that perfectly then, because that's exactly what I wanted. But they're saying things, but all they're really saying to each other is, look at us. Can you believe this? We're still flirting with each other. Do we like each other again? No matter what they're saying drunkenly here, it's just attraction that has led them to this buffalo chicken dip.
He brings up, because I think the producer asks, like, do you have a crush on her? And he's like, crush isn't the word I would use because we're not friends during the day. And so it's just something that comes up at night. And she says something like, she, flirting in the late night hours, tipsy is one thing, but in the sober light of day, she's still not comfortable. And she straight up tells him in that kitchen conversation that she still doesn't trust him.
Mm-hmm.
She has her guard up. He even breaks the fourth wall. He goes, I don't know what to do before filming, after filming. Like, it's weird for me. So it's like he's trying to just break the ice on this whole dynamic that they've been tiptoeing around. He's like, can we just like name what's going on so that I don't have to be so confused about when I'm allowed to talk to you or allowed to joke with you, or because she's in control of when that door is open, and it sounds like it's only when they're drinking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Part of definitely that. But I also didn't really know what Wes was talking about. I was like, he was too drunk. Like, I was like, and I also didn't know what the crush in the day thing meant.
Well, it's like she's mean to him during the day.
So he can't have a crush on her because she's mean in the day, but nice at night. So you can't crush on someone. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't know what that was trying to like. Right. I didn't know what that really meant. But that's why I'm like, I don't really read into what they said. It was more about the fact that they were just able to have 45 minutes of pure flirting fun, or even more, like at the party and everything too.
Yeah. It sounds like more to come next week too. And he, we get in the morning, West fully like smooches Jesse in bed in the morning. And he's like, hey, my little sweet boy.
He loves him again. Their friendship is too powerful. It couldn't be deterred. Yeah, it couldn't be deterred for 1 second. They're back kissing.
Yeah. And he goes, he's like, wait, is it Sunday? He's like, I thought it was Sadie John's. And I was like, Queens of Bravo is running around the house right now making the Saturday memes.
Okay, I'm a fool. I don't know what the hell this means.
He was confused about whether or not it was Saturday. And because remember, there's that meme where he goes, it's Sat. And Queens of Bravo posts it almost every weekend. And I was like, when they see that it's Sadie John's, they're going to run to the hill with this new meme.
I can't wait to see what they do with this meme. I don't want to talk about this because it just proves my ignorance. What is Sadie John's?
It's just a word? He's being funny.
Okay. All right. I gotta just defer to everybody who I didn't understand what it meant, but who the hell am I? I like when, and also Bailey also is still like, she couldn't sleep. She was tossing and turning. Levi had to go to bed. They weren't talking. She was like, I'm sorry I ruined your night. I'm just stewing here in bed. And then Bailey wakes up and she's like, that Ben guy. She goes, I don't like that fucking guy for 1 second coming in here with his weird curly hair and his dead eyes. I was like, that's so funny.
I like how it switched from his like beautiful locks to like his weird curly hair.
She hates him and thinks he's like disgusting now. I mean, obviously, she said, I don't know if we kind of brushed over it, but she talks about it multiple times how she's like, I don't want to be yelled at by a guy that's not my boyfriend. I did not like it at all. And I totally understand. Like, I felt for her in that moment. She's like, that was not fun for me. It brought me back to weird places, with exes and shit. So she's still stewing, but I was like, please don't ruin the rest of the weekend. I was so glad that she didn't make her feel isolated and just ruin the rest of her weekend. I was so proud of her when she actually goes to the vineyard later, you know.
This is like low key I love when they just drink too much. So like they stayed out till after 3 on Friday night. Then they go to a vineyard on Saturday. So I think they just are going to be drunk for like 24 full hours. Like, I feel like West isn't even recovered when they head to the vineyard, and then he just gets wasted at the vineyard. And so when they're getting into the car to go, Sierra, he's like shotgun, and Sierra sort of is trying to bully him into her getting his seat. And he's like, I'm sticking up for myself. I'm keeping my seat. And she's like, how dare you stick up for yourself? And he's like, let's fucking go. I'm going to stick up for myself. And they're sort of like joking around. And Kyle's like, ha, like, look at these two. And he's like, I have photo evidence of you guys being flirty last night.
Yeah. Fun in the day.
Yeah.
Contrary to what
bleeding over.
Yeah. Not just fun at night. There was some fun sparks flying. So cute. I almost never expected that we could get back to the play. This is why the summer house philosophy is so powerful. Bringing them back year after year, the fact that last year was what it was, and then now we're here when Sierra and West have to be around each other again, is just so fun to me that we've like lived with their relationship for long
Right.
enough for them to be able to like be rehabilitated. And then they go to a vineyard. What a wonderful vineyard. They went to vineyards back in the day all the time. Do you remember
It's
they
true.
would get lost in the vineyards and pick grapes? So this was kind of harkened back to earlier times.
It was. Yeah. And then down the rows of the grapes, Kyle is taking pictures of Sierra, and he's like, give me naughty Sierra. I flirted with West last night. And she's like, how dare you? How about he flirted with me? And when he's taking his photos, he goes, they didn't call me Ansel Adams in high school for nothing. And she's like, who the fuck is that? And he's like, are you kidding me? Like the master of black and white who went into color later in his career.
I was like, holy shit, a wonderful history lesson or a photography lesson right now. And then they show that beautiful Ansel Adams photo. I was like, this is amazing. At first, I said to myself, is Sierra asking Kyle to go into the vineyard to take photos of her because they're going to talk to each other?
Right.
But is it no? That's not true. Is Kyle just a renowned photographer that has beautiful photography skills and Kyle sought after to take photos?
He should have done that instead of DJ.
They show the photos that he takes of Sierra, and they're all very good. I was like, why of all people, Kyle? Anybody would probably take a better photo. But I think that they actually, unless I'm reading too much into this, that they actually know that Kyle takes good photos. Ansel Adams,
Mostly known for nature photos, but still.
Well, maybe there's a compelling element of nature in these photos by having the vineyard in it. But then they don't even talk about anything else. So she actually needed. It wasn't a scene. It wasn't a ruse for a scene. It was just to get wonderful photos. They don't talk about shit at all.
Right.
They just go back to the table.
Yeah. They also have Sierra do a scene with Ben where he just talks about his relationship history. It's boring. He's just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Why didn't they? It was bad. I go, why aren't they talking about the Bailey stuff? She goes, tell me your history. And it was actually the like a horrible story for getting to know someone for the show. He goes, I was in a deep, wonderful relationship with someone, and then basically I broke up with them because I was going to be on this show. It's like, if you heard anybody else say that, that's our worst nightmare, hearing that someone ended a relationship just so they could be single to participate in a reality show. I couldn't believe that he was like so honest about that. It wasn't a very good story, and I didn't know why they included that scene here. They should have been talking about the Bailey stuff.
Sure. Okay, we get when they go back to the house, we get detail on KJ saying that he's hot and heavy with Dara. They FaceTime like all day, every day. They're going to a Yankees game this week. Because they played a game that they spared us from, I think, at the vineyard, where they're like, when's the last time you had sex? And he was like, yesterday morning. And he reveals it was with Dara. So obviously more to come there, but she's not on this week. And then we can get into West going through it. He's schwasty. He's carrying a bottle of Hampton water, drinking it out of the bottle as they do. And he's like, Ben, come talk to me. I'm going through internal battles. I've been in such a gray area with Sierra for so long that it just feels good to be friends. And I love her so much as a friend. And Ben's like, she's OG. She's unreal.
Yeah, he knows. He goes, and Wes says that thing that we saw in the teaser. He's like, when we were together, it was dreamy. And Ben goes, I can only imagine. I can't do his Australian accent. But he's like, I can only imagine. You're great. She's wonderful. So the two of you together must have been great. And he goes, yeah, it was. And he is drunk. He's so drunk. He's been drinking. He's been drinking forever. He, like you said, like this has been a constant drinking weekend, especially for Wes. I think he was even drunk when he said he was drunk when he was putting on the bow tie on Jesse. I was like, that was even before. That was Amanda's birthday. So he's been drunk for a really long time, and he's just kind of wistful or thinking fondly of the times that he had with Sierra, because he's really going through it. And Ben's kind of like, what happened? Did you completely fuck it up? And he goes, what does he say? She goes, she just wants a good boyfriend, someone who loves her and takes care of her. And I was not in that place. We remember when West first started, and he was like, I just started this Bravo experience. I want to ride the roller coaster.
Right.
You know what
Seriously.
I mean? That's he's like, that's what it was. I mean, I feel like that's what it came down to.
Yeah.
And
And
now
I feel
he
like he's still in that era, just in the sense that he's like, as we discussed, traveling every single day in a different city every week, doing all kinds of crazy shit. So I don't know if his mindset has changed yet, but I think he is sad that it ran its course because of where he was at versus what she thought they were going to have together. And he's like, do you miss her, mate? And he's like, yes. And he goes, does she know? And he goes, she knows. And he goes, but I don't know what else to do. And he's just like, he seems very upset about it.
Yeah, he's telling Ben everything. Ben is doing a good job. He's just a sounding board. So now that we have this, I knew that we saw touching toes and grabbing legs and Sierra putting her head on West in the trailer.
Mhm.
But I wasn't so sure of how integral this was going to end up being, the
Right.
re-sparking between West and Sierra. Does this now lead more? Is there any way to interpret this as, you know, that there are whispers even now that when people see West like hugging Sierra at the Super Bowl and people are like, that's Sierra's hat in West's room, or all those like stuff. Did this make you at all be more on the side of like, if this could happen then in the past, 6 months later, is there any world in which they could be in a relationship again? Because we've now seen the groundwork that could have led to that.
So, I mean, there's going to be more next week. It sounds like everyone's calling out every time he touched her. I guess for what the conversation we just talked about, the night continues. So he's only going to devolve, and it looks like he just touches her a lot after that. And then next week, Mia says that she thinks West is in love with Sierra. Personally, I don't think they're together, and I think that if they were together for a single second, it would be Dumois like yesterday. They would never be able to go anywhere. And it's like, do they want to live in as if they're like JFK and Carolyn Bessette, like avoiding people in the West Village? Like if they touch in public, it's over. Like someone will find them.
You're right. My only counter to that is that there was 3 months after 2 years ago where they were in a relationship and doing all those things, and we had no idea about it. And it wasn't until the reunion that we found out she went to his house. They were going on dates. They had a full-fledged romance. And I don't know if we had Dumois whispers. Plus, Dumois gets fucking shit wrong every day of its life. I think 90% of those stories are complete fan fiction garbage. So yeah. I don't know, but you're probably right, and I'm just kind of like, I'm always just like, I don't know, I'm doing fan fiction too, but at least it made it more of a possibility. If anyone thought that, I was like, well, now we saw how that could have potentially happened. I mean, they still like each other, it seems.
Frankly scared about. I've seen some polls where it looks like the public does want them to get back together. I am afraid of that. I just don't want it to. I think they should maybe just be friends. I don't know. I'm afraid.
I want 3 more years of friendship. If it's still like this 3 years from now and we're on Summer House 14 and they're like this and West is ready, then I'm like, oh, you guys, if a couple for life and you marry for 10 years and you get divorced at some point, I don't care. Like I do think they're a wonderful enough couple to where I'm so happy for whatever they want to do. But I agree with you. I would be worried if they started dating again right now. Yeah. That I don't think Sierra would ever forgive West again if something happened. And
I know, that's the thing.
It's a nuke going off next time. Because after she trusted him. So we'll see, but it's fun to speculate. It's like a nice thing to think about at the reunion. Like, what will we learn next week? West is touching Sierra like crazy, touching her on her leg. Jesse's like, you were touching her leg nonstop. I can't believe what you were doing. And Oh, and it's
Kyle
just
and Amanda get
yeah.
into it about his DJing again.
Yeah, and Ben takes his pants off and he jumps in the pool at one point.
Yes. So we have a lot to look forward to. Best show on Bravo, obviously.
Better than
but
Southern
if they're-
Charm this season?
Well, I mean, I think Southern Charm's been good. I just think it's really hard to compete with
It really
Summer
is.
House.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. So, yeah, I was just trying to think if Southern Charm was. I mean, the under 42s really just they bring it every time.
Killing it. Yeah.
So I mean, excited. There's so much left. Episode 6. We got like 10 episodes left. My God.
Hell yeah. And in case there are some turtle cuties that have just been sitting in a padded cell waiting for us to cover Vanderpump reunion parts 1 and 2, we can do a few little tidbit highlights, but I think I thought part 2 was better than part 1, maybe just because Shane Davis had more to say and I find him compelling. I will say that when he was getting into his past, which is obviously very compelling, he's like, by 15, I dropped out of school. I was selling dope with my mom. I was smoking crack. I was sneaking into houses and stealing shit. I lost my virginity at 12. Like, it's insane. You're like, oh my God. And he starts to get emotional when he's talking about all these horrible things. And Lisa goes, why are you getting emotional? And she makes this whole scene about it and gets up out of her chair and is like talking about how it's like hard for him to be vulnerable. And she's like, if you were my son, I'd be very proud of you. I'm like, he's not like imploding. He's just like telling his story and getting like verklempt while he talks about it. And I felt that she was like embarrassing him by being like, what's wrong?
Yeah, making it a little worse. I did like her terms of endearment towards him because Lisa's sparing with those. Like she was like, you're a treasure, darling. I wish you were my son. Like, but I agree her response was over the top, like wanting to have a moment and kind of capitalize on Shane being really upset. It's like, of course he's crying. Did you hear what he just said? It's like, did your family raise you right? And he was like, they did as well as they could, but there was, it's like, I would have cried with the first word that came out of my mouth. So it was a little over the top. I agree with you completely that I don't think that anything actually rose to the level of having to be talked about on either part. To be frank, the fact that it was 2 parts. Oh, I'm so glad it wasn't 3 parts, obviously. But really, after watching both parts, I was just like, I don't know if we needed the reunion. I mean, I really don't think so. The only thing in part 1 I wanted to talk about, just because I love that jujitsu date so much, it was really funny to see even more how Jason was doing, like how he handled flopping around Angelica. So they show the clips again. She's hurt. He's throwing her around or whatever. And then she posted the bruises. Or she first sent him the bruises. And he says, rough sex to her with no context, just rough sex, implying I'm going to say that you and I had rough sex, or you had rough sex with someone else after our date where I threw you around like a doll on the gym floor. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, he handled it even worse than I thought. And then she posted the bruises saying, when your cast member gives you bruises like this, and he said, delete this now. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine seeing that. Like, I wasn't following her stories, but that with no context text is like, what the fuck is going on? I think everything about how this thing was handled is so not like Bravo, like appealing. It's just horrible and weird. And the way Jason handled it makes me think that he is not ready to be on reality television in a real way. It was just so odd, everything that he was doing. So that was it. And also in part 1, Audrey does say, Andy goes, Audrey, he goes, can I ask, why are you so mad today? And I was like, they didn't show Audrey being that mad, but I guess she was. She goes, because I've been getting death threats for 2 damn weeks about this shit with Angelica. And I was like, who the fuck is sending death threats to
I'm telling
Audrey?
You, no one is safe.
Who is sending death threats to Angelica and Audrey for the reboot of Vanderpump Rules in the finale because she told stand-up comedy jokes about her? I was like, My God, really? That is so insane. And even Lisa is like, oh my God. And Andy's like, death threats about what? And I was just like, that is so, like, if they're getting death threats, everyone.
That person really needs to get a life.
Oh my God. Yeah. So that was it for, I don't know if you had anything for part 1. Those were notable to me, but we can go right into 2 if you prefer.
I feel like the only thing I really want to point out is that they reveal that Shane and Natalie are figuring out their relationship. Like, they're really close friends who apparently hook up, and she thinks that they have something special and should probably date, and he is afraid of ruining the friendship, so he's keeping his distance. And so it sounds like they haven't figured that out. And I'm like, when we saw them at the that event at SUR, they were all over each other, and so we assumed they were dating. But that was do you think that was before or after the reunion?
Before.
It was before.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because that was in December, and they say we're 3 days into 2026 or something.
Okay. So I think it would be interesting if they were a couple going into the second season, because I find him compelling. I find her fairly compelling. I think that could be interesting if it was an actual thing. So I thought that was like worth noting. But again, I don't know how interesting it would ultimately be, but I was like, well, that's something, because I don't think Marcus and Kim are the Jax and Stassi that we need.
No. But then you, like you just said about what will be the entertainment value of that. Like, we already saw every iteration of them dating each other. So dealing with them starting to fall in love and then Angelica getting mad, it sounds exactly like what we've already had to deal with from season 1, So I almost like, I'm not too enticed by that. I think what Brian Moylan said in that one Vulture thing was like, they just need to be like real friends for a while. Like they should, in the off season right now, be like going on overseas trips together and like form real bonds, because the only way this dynamic is going to be interesting is if they actually feel like a friend group. And right now it feels like we're just watching two different people try to date each other for 2 weeks and then switch with somebody else.
Yeah. I also wanted to point out that Jason confirms that he was just eating tuna.
I know.
And that Chris said, it looks like cat food. And I'm like, I knew you weren't eating cat food. Fuck off. But he also reveals some of the fun OnlyFans requests they get. And one of them was that he got paid $1,500 to pretend he was a peanut being swallowed.
I know. I thought that was so interesting. Yeah, he was like, I dressed in a big peanut suit. And what did he do? He jumped off a couch
like,
or something?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I would do that.
If I could do OnlyFans only peanut eating, I'm in. I would do like 60% of it. But just dressing up in a peanut suit and bouncing up on a couch and then diving into a camera to pretend like I'm leaping into someone's mouth, that's easy. I mean, just have a little some pillows on the ground to catch me. That's nothing. He does it. He said he does it once every 3 weeks. Somebody asks him to do the peanut leap.
Andy was like, "That's great."
Yeah. And then they do really get into the OnlyFans stuff. He goes, still, the way they talk about it, you kind of just want to play by play at this point, because it was like there was 4 guys. One of them was massaging me. I was in the tub. One of them was naked, and it was like, I still don't really know what this video. And Andy was like, I want to see it. Let's go in.
How has Andy not seen it?
Maybe he has at this point. But I still don't get it. Massage train where the last person is naked in the shower, and the caboose of the train is a masseuse, and they're all kind of naked.
Yeah, I like when they're talking about it and Jason goes, "It's a great video. Like, you can say what you want about it, but it's a good quality video." He takes pride in his work.
It was a great video. What was the other? Oh yeah, pie throw, like
pie throwing with their tootsies out.
Just toes.
I don't know if they were like putting pies on each other's feet or if they were pieing each other's faces and then showing that the pie got on their feet.
Oh my God.
Or maybe stepping in pie.
Chris and Jason pieing each other like that with their little feet out. Like, that's kind of just fun.
I mean, they have a beachfront apartment, so go off.
Oh, I didn't even think about their beachfront apartment. Having the beach in the background while they're pieing each other like that. So they really, that was kind of illuminating. Also, penis pump wise, I know you knew this, but I was pretending whenever you'd say, you know what a penis pump was, I was nodding my head. I was kind of intrigued to know that it just makes it harder, not bigger. I always, when Austin Powers was using it in Austin Powers 1 through 3, I was like, he has a small penis, so he's overcompensating by blowing it up.
But
big.
like I said, if you're harder, you're bigger.
Right. You always say that. That's what
I don't know why you don't.
No. That's one of your catchphrases. That's one of the Turtle Time credos. But no. Of course I know that. But I thought that. Of course I know
You
that.
thought it was like an elongator.
Yeah. I really did. I didn't. I only knew it from Austin Powers. That was a total. Read it, regret it, or I never let it etch into my memory. I thought I got the joke. I thought Austin Powers used a penis pump to appeal bigger or to show himself bigger, not harder. But I know what you're saying. Harder is also bigger. But
and then Andy was like, kind of like a cock ring, and they're like, we use those too.
Yeah, they were like high fiving and stuff. And Lisa's like, what's a fleshlight?
You stick your winky in a torch.
Yeah, so they knew what they were talking about. It was fun.
Yeah.
Lunch at Sir. Anything else before lunch at Sir?
Do you think that Sir catered, or do you think they got catering at
Andy
Sir?
Andy said, I'm not eating your food, Lisa.
Yeah, no fucking way. He's like, I'll have something about her.
They definitely catered some sandwiches in there. Jason, Andy goes, you guys were, I could tell Andy was like, oh God. I think I could tell that he was like, oh shit. What the fuck are we talking about? He was saying stuff that like we had never even seen in the edit. I forget some examples of it, but he was like, Natalie and Shane, you two have been dating up a storm. Like, how's that going or whatever? And I was just like, what do you know that we haven't seen? Like he was even pulling like drama that wasn't even in the final edit of the season. Because I think it was just so like some points of the edit were so sloppy. But he was like Venus and kissing everyone. Jason came back for a second kiss, which we got to see because he was the best kisser, Venus said. And then Shane explained ethical non-monogamy, which I kind of understood when he said it finally. He was like, I just enter into every sexual relationship that I'm going to have by saying that I'm never going to be your boyfriend.
Right. Yeah. Lisa's like, kind of a cop-out. Also, he reveals that last year, 2025, he only had sex with 6 women. And he goes, that's an all-time low for me. He's trying to be ethical, I guess. Also, what did you think about how they really wanted that guy with the mustache to become an inside joke and had him at the end? And Andy was like, that's great. And I was like, I don't even remember that.
Oh, yeah. I remembered it, but yeah, no, it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't a prop like what I would have loved. You know what I mean?
They wanted the Potomac mime moment, but it's not really a thing. And I'm like, how did they even find him? Like, what?
Yeah, what the hell? I don't know. I wasn't. I was tuned out. I was like, what the hell? I was like, that was kind of representative of this season of Vanderpump Rules for me. So, I mean,
we'll just keep an eye out on what the plans are. I wonder how long it'll take them to figure it out and go again. I hope it's not a RHONY situation, or maybe I do. I don't know. I don't care if it takes its time.
I agree. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I would say probably Chris and Jason showed the detriment of casting bargain bin reality television personalities. It kind of blew up in their face by having that fourth wall breaking shit and having one of your real cast members be like, I don't trust your intentions. You do this all the time. It's kind of right. And they weren't the highs of OnlyFans massaging and eating cat food and stuff were not enough to overcome the absolute lack of charisma from those two boys. Don't clip this. I don't want to make anybody sad, but I would start with only people that really are working at Sir, or try to hire some new people in the off season. Get some new people in there. Freshen it up a little bit.
Well, yeah, Jason already has been demoted, so he's never showing his face at Sir again. I think that will be the obvious choice to let them go, but we will keep our ears to the ground and let you know if there are any updates in that fashion. And then we finally have part 3 of the Potomac reunion, and that'll be the end of this entire season, which I did enjoy.
Oh yeah. It was great. We talked about it a lot, but yeah, it was like I thought it was like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Like good, decent, fun. That
solid.
trip is an all-timer. Angel's trip from hell. It was so funny to watch. Like there was great stuff. There was a lack of Karen in the beginning because I remember we were talking about they're treading water with this garbage, but it found its footing. It got fun. The trip was amazing, and it ends really well with Karen being back in the mix for this part 3. It starts out with what I was waiting for, which is Monique goes, I got to play a thing that's going to blow the hair back on your head. Edit this shit out. You're not going to be able to play this. And then they play it, and it's bleeped out completely. Someone saying like, I know that Stacey told Chris information about Monique's storyline. I think it's really true. She did that a lot. And they can't verify who this was. So it has the exact same ring of truth that Charisse had when she said this. I don't take any stock in it. I don't know who the fuck that was on the phone. I don't know what they're talking about. And Stacey, again, I feel like I know when I'm hearing a liar. She's like, I'm sorry. That didn't happen. I am going through divorce shit. I would never tell Chris storylines about you in my life. And again, it just has all the same people attacking her. Kay, Giselle, who I don't trust their motives for how they talk about Stacey. So for me, to me, it wasn't a revelation. I don't know how you felt.
Yeah, it seemed like it was something about her telling Chris that Monique was filming with their kids. And I don't know if it was bleeped because it was illegally recorded, like, you know, without consent. So then they couldn't use it. But then I saw something more recently where Monique like absolved Stacey on like Twitter or something. So I was like, I'm just going to disregard this then. Who cares?
You should. I think we all should. I think we should all disregard all Stacey slander for the next.
Strike it from the record.
Seriously. No, my least favorite parts about the season were stinky breath, Stacey, and all this, that JT garbage that they forgot about in one episode. JT, that fake crayon drawing of him saying I'm in a contract with Stacey, that garbage that they didn't even bring up at the reunion. That was how bad it was. They talk about the trip from hell a little bit.
Did you like how Andy was like, yikes, we've never ended a season at a gas station?
Loved it. He goes, what the hell was that? He was like personally offended. And he was mad at Angel for leaving him in a gas station. She goes, why were the coordinates so wrong? It made it seem like he was backing up production. You sent like, production on a fool's errand.
They had a production text that was like, hey girl, like, so we're trying to map out the day, and I think there's something wrong with what you sent us, and we're a little concerned about going there.
Yeah. So and he goes that, and then Andy goes, that's the last time we'll ever talk about that trip. It was like he didn't want to bring it up with people. And then we get Karen Huger comes back. She regales us with her presence. She kind of has some like rehearsed things that she says. Have you all been behaving well without me? Here comes me. My name is Karen.
She's like, I will be the grand dame no longer. I tried to shed it, but it's what the people want. So if they're going to call me that, they're going to call me that. And we get a little thing that it turns out Giselle had been leaving her notes in her mailbox while she was away, which is sweet. Mm-hmm. I'm always like, whenever it turns out that Giselle has been nice, I'm like, aw, that's good.
I know. Yeah, it's kind of refreshing to see that.
Yeah. And there ends up being like a Karen versus Wendy moment where they talk about how Karen called, remember when we like stopped watching because it was getting so toxic about like Wendy's mom, and like Karen called her a witch, and we were just like, this is like unpleasant. And Karen goes, no disrespect to your mother. Actually, I loved seeing her this season. I loved when she told you to shut the fuck up. And everyone's like, oh, Andy's like, Karen, like, come on. Like, that was one of the saddest scenes of the whole season. Like, that wasn't funny. It like sucked.
Karen flopped so hard.
I was like, girl.
It was so bad. It ruined the vibe immediately. Everyone hated it. Andy even had to say, "What the hell are you thinking?" And then she tries to walk it back a couple times. She was like, "That's what I meant to say. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
She's been out of practice."
She goes, yeah, totally. She goes, I meant to stop talking about stuff like your ongoing, criminal case or whatever. It's like, that's not what you said at all. Oh, Karen, no. At one point, I mean, Karen was kind of out of it a lot. She was not. This was a little deflating as a Karen appearance. I didn't get the full entertainment value. At one point, they're like, when did you stop talking to Stacy or something? And Karen's like, Stacy, let me talk about Stacy. And she looks for Stacy around the room. She's like, well, I got a few words for Stacy. And Stacy goes, I'm right next to you. Are you looking for me? And she goes, oh, yes, I am looking for Stacy. I was like, Karen, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, she was confused.
What about Wendy? The Wendy stuff is interesting.
Yeah.
They kind of like, okay, Andy's like, okay, moving on from Karen. Wendy, tell us your story of the burglary. And this was interesting. It was like a Wikipedia page with only four sentences on it.
Yeah.
The sentences were Wendy, like it was so legally ironclad or whatever. It was all like verified facts. And that's what she says later. But she goes, I came home from a trip with my kids. My kid went upstairs and said, Zoe made a huge mess upstairs. She goes, Zoe's in a... Oh, sorry. Yeah. Zoe's in a kennel. So how could she have made a mess? Something must have happened here. She didn't even say... I don't even think she said... She said a burglary was reported in 2024 is what she says, right? And that's it for the facts of 2024.
Right. Yeah. She said they called 911, a cop or cops came to do the report or whatever. And then it fast forwards to her getting awoken from her nap in 2025 to police, and it's the same guy. And he's like, remember me from your burglary report or whatever? And she's like, great. Like, are you here because there's an update on our burglary? And according to her, he went, there was no burglary.
Holy shit.
Like he was sassy. Like he was like, I'm here to report that you did it.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was like the end of the first episode of like a Netflix show or something.
Yeah.
Like The Beast in Me I just watched. It's like, there was no burglary. It's like, holy shit, I'm watching the next episode for sure. So I think those facts are allowing for a world in which she is saying that I don't know what happened to my house. Anything could have happened. And what I did in the aftermath was developed off the pretense that there was a burglary. That's what it sounded like to me. You know what I mean? Like there was no language. Like, so if I did file insurance claim, there was no doubt in my mind that it was a burglary until then. It was kind of I just felt like it was a good way to get off the hook. And Karen was like, stop talking. You're fucked. You're going to get fucked with what you're saying. And she goes, everything I just said is what I'm allowed to say. Basically saying that everything was cleared for her to say on this reunion. Yeah.
I did think it made sense when she said that it was reported that they have all of these aliases, and people were saying that it was like credit cards, which maybe they did have lots of credit cards, but she was saying that all of those fake names and stuff were what they used for package delivery because they were very goofy names. Like it would be like Eddie Money or like, like sort of goofy names. I was like, oh, that actually makes sense. Like celebrities probably do that all the time where they put like bullshit names.
But okay, so that's something I need to like fact check, but there's such a huge difference between credit cards and the name Eddie Money. Isn't Eddie Money? Hold on. Eddie Money. Oh, there's no one named Eddie Money. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
I had that thought too, so maybe there is. But she I don't know. I also saw something in the news that they were originally going to be tried together, but now they're going to be tried separately. So I'm curious if like they'll let one of them take the fall, or I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
More to come there.
Yeah, more to come. Eddie Money, of course. 2 tickets to paradise.
There you go.
So, yeah, thank God that those packages arrived to Eddie's house. If they were in Eddie Money's name, could you imagine? He's like, he's British. He's like, I'm over. He's like, did another package get to your house?
Yeah, he keeps knocking on their door. He's like, hello.
I wrote 2 tickets to paradise. He's not British. Anyway, but so there's a huge difference between credit cards and packages. Let's get the truth here. Bravo needs to write disclaimers. What Wendy just said was a lie.
Right.
I don't know, but Andy, here's what was great. Andy goes, Wendy, I love the Eddie Money story. Pam, Oliver, I love it. Maybe they were packages, but I'm telling you, you're such a wonderful role model. I've loved you for years. Everything you do on the show is so fun. And I felt that. I was like, I love you, Wendy, too. You are amazing. I don't even care if you defrauded insurance. I don't give a shit. But he was like, this seems bad.
Bad.
This is bad. Yeah. He knows enough about legal shit. Like, not like me. I don't know shit. But he knows. He's like, this looks like an open and shut case, Your Honor. So have you planned for the future of what will happen? It's like, if Andy's telling you that, that's rough.
Yeah, like he's like, do you have a plan for the kids and stuff? And she's like, we can't even entertain that. We're just praying for the best outcome. And Karen's like, whatever happens, it won't break you. No, it's like she's gonna have a fucking horrible year. That's for sure.
Oh, it's
either way.
It seemed, I don't even want to look into the case because I don't want to. I just don't want to know how bad it was. I've already made my moral equation on that. But I just know that it has to be so bad. And Wendy, you need to think about the future now. That's what Andy is trying to tell you. And I did love the moment where Andy said, you have been such a wonderful housewife. And Wendy is so touched. She's like, you gave me the best hug I've ever had in my entire life at BravoCon. I felt your full spirit enter into me, and you were hugging every part of my body. And Andy was like, that's the kind of hugs I give. And then this was so interesting to me next. Kierna goes, where the hell is Giselle's package? She didn't get shit. And Giselle goes, wait, I didn't get a package. What the hell? And Andy's like, he's like looking around. Everybody's like, holy shit. Giselle didn't get a moment at all. No package at all. And then Giselle goes, final thoughts? Sorry, I got to get out of this thing. Final thoughts, we're wrapping up here. Giselle goes, well, since I didn't get a package this season, I'm going to tell you what the hell I'm doing. Business? My kids are good, and I'm dating. It's like, oh, great. Okay, well, thank God we were spared from the package. Jesus.
That was really funny. She was like, yeah, wow, fuck you. I didn't get a package.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Wendy also says that Monique has been a real champion for her. Monique also had a really sweet moment with Karen. So I feel like everyone's obsessed with her. I think she should be getting a flute. If you ask me.
Oh, if you ask me too. Oh, I concur with that completely. Monique was wonderful this season. Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God. I loved, she definitely deserves a second season to see if she can continue on this wonderful
maybe
run.
Kay or Jassy can swap out, tag her in.
Quite possibly. I don't know who. I would say Jazzy. I say we have.
She's barely on. Yeah. I couldn't believe that they even brought her out. I was like, who cares?
It's not even a good. Yeah, it's not. It wouldn't even be saying goodbye.
No offense.
No, and don't clip this. Oh my God, could you imagine? But Kay, unfortunately, no one has had. She is in the pantheon of worst second seasons. Maybe this is her third season now. She's been a friend up for 2. Yeah. I did not enjoy when Kay. When she felt like she was a full-time cast member and what she did with that, it made me like her a lot less. And that was, I really liked Kay for the last season. I really did, but there was just something about her energy this season when she was attacking Stacey and like, I don't know. I didn't appreciate it anymore. So maybe she needs one more redeeming season, but if you got Monique on the other end of the line, I would definitely maybe.
Seems like the obvious choice.
Yeah.
Also, they take a anniversary 10th season selfie, very reminiscent of the Ellen Oscars selfie.
I was that was the first reference I made in my head. I was like, this is like when Ellen took that photo with Guillermo del Toro, Brad Pitt, I forget who else was in it.
Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh my god, what an Oscar year! It was like yeah, there were so many people in that selfie. It was awesome, but it ended up being a good selfie. Didn't you think?
It was good. Solid.
So wonderful, I above average season. I'll give it that. I'm excited when Karen has to account for her behavior on the next season, full time, what she's going to do and what she's going to say. I want more of that. This was not a good showing for Karen. I'll just say that. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
It wasn't very fun. Karen didn't bring it. But that was Potomac. We also talked about Vanderpump Rules. Can you believe it? And a full recap of Summer House. Like, this is like Turtle Time extra credit.
Seriously, damn.
Like, report card, like, we handed in our paper, A+, and then we're those kids that said, and for a bonus, you can read a chapter from Moby Dick and write a paragraph on it. We're like, we're teachers' pets. Like, give us the apple. Or no, kids would give teachers the apple, but extra credit accomplished. We did it. I'm so proud of us. I just have a few edits to do, but we're going to be really good.
Yeah, we'll be back on Friday with double Beverly Hills and Southern Charm. We'll do tidbits from last week's. We cannot fully recap both, but we'll just do the highlights.
Absolutely not. But can I just say, as a little tease for Friday, that Southern Charm episode, I felt like it was written for me. I was like, oh my God, I love it. Oh,
Fantastic.
I love big, deep hugs like that. Oh my God. So we'll blip into that and then talk about this week's episodes. But Amy and I have to go. Patreon is available if you want to spend money on us, if you want to spoil us rotten. There's a Patreon. We love our Villa Rosa VIPs more than anyone on earth. And we love the comments and the discussion forums that we have on Patreon. Please give us reviews. Please. Right?
Please help us.
Spotify. I love those Spotify comments from you. What about the Spotify comments?
Yeah, we have video on Spotify if you didn't know.
Yeah, if you want to see us, oh my God, and the video over there, it's like, whoo, it's crisp, 1080p, and then YouTube. YouTube is irreverent. YouTube is a different ecosystem, don't you think?
It's fun over there.
It's so fun. But nothing beats the Villa Rosa VIP comment, obviously. Yes. So let's say goodbye, Amy, and we'll be back Friday with Southern Charm and Beverly Hills. We're so glad to be back.
Yes, we're back. It's going to be like 100 degrees in LA this week, which sucks. But anyways, ta-ta.
Ta-ta. Wait, you just said something. It was so beautiful yesterday when you got back from Mexico. It was like 60 degrees with the breeze. I was like, this is the most beautiful weather I've ever seen in my life. Did you get
I accidentally brought the sun back.
You're bringing it.
I didn't get home till like 9 p.m.
Oh, you didn't get to... Oh, all right. Well, I'm sorry. Well, shit. It's going to be 100 degrees pretty soon. Well, we love you all so much. Turtle Time is back on Friday with a bullet. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.